I'm a famous artist. Become of Sebastian Berto. I'm a famous artist. They call me Sebastian Berto. I'm a famous artist. They call me Sebastian Berto. Sebastian Berto. They call me Sebastian Berto. I'm a famous artist. They call me Sebastian Berto. Famous artist Sebastian Berto. That famous artist Sebastian Berto. Hi there. My name is Sebastian, and I'm gonna make an audit. I'm gonna make an audit on this show. What I put on the internet in the Twitches, it's live. You should have seen me when I make them artists. Got these brushes, I use them. You should see me when I use them. I'm really loving using them. Are you ready to see some incredible, outrageous, over-the-top art making? I've made it before. I'm gonna make it again. You'll see me. You won't see me. You'll see me. Are you gonna stick around for the whole 8 billion hours that I just do whatever I want at all times? Oh, and then I talk, and then I talk. You'll see me talk a lot tonight. And look, perhaps there'll be other things I'll do, but the main thing right now, the main thing that I'm absolutely catastrophically excited to do is, do the same thing I do every night. Binky, I try to art onto a canvas. I don't mean to be crazy or anything, but I'm gonna fill up this. This has a bigger capacity to hold ink than this does. This pen that I have been doing live streams with every single other time only has a tiny little ink reservoir, whereas this brush here has a huge one, a huge one, a huge one. So, who out there is standing in a realm, a great vast promontory of excitement, a cataclysmic beautician area, a voluminous, wonderful open-air zoo for me to create the thing they call a drawing. Hey, who? Tell me. Well, let me show you some of the tricks of the trade. Let me show you right now. I'll bring you down here. I know you've all been waiting to see. This is what I do. I fill up my art making instruments using this wonderful hooked nose syringe. I will now place into this the ink. Whoa. Okay. I think I need to do this a slight bit differently to how I was about to do it. What I'm going to do is actually squeeze the ink in this way. Is that right? Is that how I should do it? I think so. Yeah, that's a bit better. It's going to go right in. Yeah, is this working? It is. I'm not sure if you can see, but the ink is slowly being funneled in to the reservoir. Oh my god, it just exploded everywhere. This is so much fun already because you get to see what I go through to try and fill my artistic implements in real life. This is the life of an artist, a famous one at that, me, famous artist Sebastian Berto, at my own service. But also the service of my community right now. I've been making one of these drawings every single day during lockdown, quarantine, COVID quarantine experiences in Melbourne, Australia, and And look, we're coming out of it again. Coming out of it again pretty soon. So, shall we all say a massive round of applause for this new track I'm about to drop? Now, getting a bit of this ink to filter down into the pen. Oh, it looks like it had some residual water inside. That is exciting. You just coax it out, you know, you just coax that ink to slowly come out and saturate into the fibers of the bristles. Can you see that? It's so exciting. It's so exciting to finally see it properly come out. And then what you do is you bring the zoom in a little bit more and you begin to paint. And now let me tell you, the experience of painting, well, it's certainly not overrated. I'd say if anything it's underrated. It's something that more people would do well to experience. And here we go. I think this is reasonable, and if anybody wishes to argue with me on that point, I'll take you on. I think it's very, very reasonable to paint something. In fact, it's a very beautiful act, a very wonderful offering to the world, to the world, to the world, to the world. Now, one thing that many, many people are just dying to know, I know, over the whole world of this realm, is, well, they want to know, Seb, what are you drawing? What are you drawing? And in this case, as in every other case that has gone forth and been put forward to the committee, the parliamentary committee of my world view, is the thing that I am drawing right now is that I am drawing the live stream. I'm drawing the experience of the live stream. So in essence, I'm drawing you, and I'm drawing the screen, and I'm drawing myself, and I'm drawing the sounds that are coming out of the speaker, and I'm feeling this paper with my hand as I move my brush across it. And I'm feeling the mediator between me and the paper, which is this brush in my hand, and through that, the contact with the paper. And along from my brain and the rest of my physiology, through all of this filter, down to the tip of my hand, I am using all of that filter and making live, on-the-spot decisions about what I'm going to do next, where I'm going to take the image. And I find that that's a very, very fruitful experience. And I encourage anybody who wishes to collaborate with me on the drawing of the live stream to perhaps also draw the live stream. You might like to draw me. You might like to draw what you feel. Or you might like to close your eyes and place your pen on the paper and just move it around and see what happens after you've moved your pen around on the paper for, say, 15 seconds. You'll be amazed. How about I do that now? I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to move this brush around in ways that feel good to me on the paper for 15 seconds. Alright? Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There you go. So, it's a really nice way to warm up. It's a really nice way to break out of any expectation that you might already have for what a drawing is supposed to be. And I love doing it. It gives you also a lot of unexpected lines that you get to now make things from. So do you get a sense of that? Do you get a sense that for some people doing something like that can be a little bit daunting, but also the prospect of just a blank page can be very daunting, I think. Just a blank page. Have you ever been in front of a blank page and have you thought, oh gosh, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do? Well, that's one way in. Just close your eyes and move your brush across the paper for 15 seconds. For longer even. You might even just like to listen to the radio or music and have your eyes closed during a whole song and just move your hand with your brush or your pen over your paper until that song is done or that person has finished talking. Sometimes it is nice to do a drawing to a description that somebody is describing, a description that somebody is describing of a place or a thing with your eyes closed. We have a little message from Starlight Mushroom. And thank you. I'm going to turn down the music. Let me see. Yeah, is that better? Does that sound alright? Is this a reasonable level? I've got... Yeah, that's better. Okay, good. Starlight Mushroom, I'm not sure if I've ever met you, but welcome. This is me, famous artist Sebastian Berto, at your service. And I'm drawing, and I'm talking, and I'm going to be drawing the live stream. My physiology here, filtering the live stream in front of you. This is it. And to the other two viewers, I don't know who you are, but welcome all. I like drawing. Have you ever drawn before? Has anybody ever drawn before? I've done many drawings in my day. Now, I'm squeezing my brush because what happens with these brushes is you fill them full of liquid and then you squeeze them and the ink starts to flow out into the little nylon bristles, and that's a really great way to control your ink flow, so long as you don't over squeeze and then too much ink will come out. Yeah, so I've been doing these live streams. Starlight Mushroom says, yo, yes, love drawing. Are you using other website than Twitch. I am indeed I'm streaming to multiple realms. I am streaming to Twitch, I am streaming to YouTube, and I am streaming to Facebook. So if any of those realms of viewing take your fancy, then do toddle on over. I think my preferred realm for doing this is Twitch, though, because I feel like it's more geared towards this kind of thing, and the other places have a much more yucky business model than I think Twitch has, and they're amassing a lot of power and influence over people, and I think that it's really great to try and divest as much as possible, yet I use them, but you know, I'm streaming to multiple platforms. I worked out a way to do that, but you know what I really want to do is I'd love to be able to stream to Insta, because I've got more of a following there than anywhere else, and I'm really just doing this because I think it's nice to build community, and I was wondering, what can I do as an artist during lockdown that could be really nice and helpful to my community, and also like to try and build maybe a little bit of community. I just think I've got a lot of really great skills, and it would be great to share them more. I've got a lot of I'm quality. I've got great value in this world. I believe in myself, but I haven't been too haven't put myself out there too much. I spend all of my time drawing every single night, but I don't necessarily like share those drawings. I do it usually by myself, and I love that. But wow, how fun is it to do it amongst others and to let people in on that process. And yeah, just hanging out. Yeah, Instagram, even though it's owned by Facebook, I enjoy the kind of interaction and the way it is, and I feel like perhaps Facebook is a little bit I don't know, it makes me feel like the people who use it are perhaps older people now, like boomers really like Facebook. I don't really know, but it doesn't really appeal to me like the focus on images in Instagram, and I get pretty bored of what a lot of people write on Facebook, but whatever. I like to be platform agnostic or whatever, like just whatever platform I want to do at any given time. I don't want to judge anybody for being on a platform, but I do have my preferences. So I'm seeing what Twitch is like. I think Twitch is fun. I've watched some Twitch. I mean, people playing games, but also like some artists. Yeah, and I've done live performances on Twitch before, and I do a bi-weekly show called Channel 2, as in like channel TOO. Yeah, Michael Lombardi has joined the chat. I'm not sure if anybody knows Michael Lombardi, but you must check out his art. He's incredible, so inspiring, so amazing. I've been looking at all of the art that Michael has been making consistently over the years, and lately consistently, but I've just been noticing it more lately. All of the wonderful life drawings you've been doing. Often Michael prefers to go and to like burlesque life drawing classes, or like the life drawing classes that are a little bit more like have fun costume and theatre in them, and so therefore the drawings that he creates have a lot of really interesting models and tableaus, and yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, just a powerhouse. You are such a powerhouse, Michael. Now, I've got a pocket operator here, and it's basically a tiny sampler, and that's what I'm playing my music through. So it's live music as well, what I'm doing. And yeah, I'll just during this stream be changing it up gradually. Michael Lombardi, what's it like to know yourself? This is a pocket operator. It's made by Teenage Engineering. It's a sampler and a sequencer. They're pretty fun. Basically, it's got a tiny microphone. It's just like literally like a tiny silicon board with traces and stuff. You can program up to, I think, 20 seconds of sample sound into it, and you can see it's got a 16-step sequencer, and it has effects which you can turn on and off, and you can program in each of the sounds. It's got, right now I've loaded a bunch of different sounds onto it, like this. Anyway, drum kits and things like that. You can chop them up, you can cut them and edit them, and then you can create just little 16-step compositions, and then you can string them together, and it's just really cool. Yeah, I love it. Some very, very random things going on right now. I like multitasking, you know, doing a little bit of that. So each of these streams, what I've been doing is first laying down some very vague brush strokes, swirls, just movements, and focusing heaps on like the tactile kinesthetic sensation of moving the brush over the page. And sort of I've been doing what you could describe as advanced Mr. Squiggle. If anybody wants to know what Mr. Squiggle is, I'm not sure if everybody here has been exposed to Australian children's TV of the 1990s, but just bring up an example, a YouTube example. This is Mr. Squiggle. And yeah, you can be the judge, but I always loved Mr. Squiggle. Now when it says restream, that's me writing that. I don't actually know how to change the name, the username. It just says restream. That's the service that's allowing me to broadcast to multiple platforms. But yeah, advanced Mr. Squiggle, huh? I don't have any blackboard to give me advice or to turn it upside down or anything. I don't have a pencil for a nose, but I reckon my nose, oh, it's a pretty, it's a honker. It's a bit of a honker. Honk, honk. Honk, honk. I reckon, I could type on this at some point. Get a nose drawing done. I did the other day draw with my hair. I sort of stuck the pen in and I was doing a little bit of this. Yeah, it worked out pretty well actually. Yeah. So I've been focusing on the kinesthetic, tactile experience of drawing and the physiological and phenomenological experience of what it is to make art. What it is to make art live, what it is to exist in this form and be producing a visual. Well, essentially what I'm doing here is this is kind of like an archaeological dig for later. This is the lines that I'm putting down. This is sort of like I'm moving my body, and it's producing residue because I'm using this thing that produces ink. That ink goes into the fibers of the paper. Yeah, and so it's like every movement that I make is being recorded and recorded in this black ink. So the residue from a movement in time, that's what it is. And I think that's really a really interesting way to look at drawing. It's a movement in time, and we're dancing and we're moving and we're reacting and we're thinking and we're making decisions all on the spot. And you could say that it's premeditated. Some aspects, like the fact that I decided I wanted to draw something, is premeditated, because I thought, yep, I'm going to do that, and then I did it. But I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. I did know some things about what I thought it would be, though. I thought, well, I want to draw a figure. I want to do an advanced Mr. Squiggle, like I've been doing recently, advanced Mr. Squiggles. But yeah, I really love drawing the human figure and celebrating the human figure for its incredible diversity and its wildness and its many characteristics that are likened to a landscape. I love to think about the body as a landscape, and I think it's really a really cool way to look at the body, because we are just such complex mechanisms, and we have so many moving parts, and we have so many interdependent systems inside us, and it's sometimes hard to delineate between what is like where we begin or where we end and the rest of the world begins. And it's quite a psychedelic kind of experience, right? Depersonalizing, decoupling yourself from the world, not seeing it as you and the world, but actually it's all integrated, and everything is porous. You know, my skin, there's ultraviolet radiation penetrating through my skin and coming out the other side. There's air going into my lungs and being transformed and processed. There's food going inside me, and yeah, all of these complex systems we study in nature of landscapes are also present within us, because we've come from nature. We are nature. We're not separate to it. And I know that it's also awesome to be like, oh yeah, but also, well, I'm me. I'm this person here, separate to everything. That's also correct. So both of those things are correct. And thus, it is perhaps a paradox. Starlight Mushroom. I really like the direction the drawing is going. Thanks. Yeah. The fun thing about people coming on and watching and interacting is that, I mean, they could either be people I know or people I don't know. And I think it's really fun to try and work that out from their usernames, but who knows? Starlight Mushroom, I don't know if I know you, but it's cool that you're hanging out. And thanks. Do you like drawing? Have you ever drawn before? Have you ever made art? I think it's really worth making art. I don't think everyone has to do it, but I think it's really... Interesting. Starlight Mushroom lives on Kauai. Kauai. That is in Hawaii. What? Wow, that's a cool place. I recently saw a little like mini documentary on how the indigenous Hawaiians like basically took back this island that the US were doing all of these like bomb testing, like all of their artillery testing on, and over the years all of these amazing people came together to stop the US military from continually just blowing up this island, and how now it's like really like all vegetation is growing back, but it's also like this really sad
thing where like it's also been so scarred, so it's like can never be the same. But yeah, interesting. I'm currently in the indigenous name for the place I am broadcasting to you from is Narm, and that's otherwise known as, in colonizer language, English, Narm is called Melbourne in Australia. Yeah. And it's the traditional land of people who call themselves the Wurundjeri. Their nation is called the Kulin Nation. I think Kulin is supposed to mean human. I don't know for sure, but yeah. The correct spelling is N-A-A-R-M. Yeah. And yeah, that's where I am, and I've got the privilege of benefiting from all of the very sadly all of the genocide that happened here to the indigenous people, which I just have to always be very aware of, and throughout my life I want to try and do something about how there's been great injustice done here, and yeah. Always recognize that. The famous silent Australian, yes. True. Oh, yeah, I love drawing. I just discovered Twitch, been considering streaming, working on art, etc. Yeah. It is important to be aware. That is good of you. I am 1/64th Native American Indian. Whoa. That's so specific. 1/64th, what does that mean? Like, you know, it's really awesome if you can learn the like your family, your like who you're descended from directly. That's pretty cool if you can do that research. Like, if you even have access to that information. Cool. I like this term, the famous silent Australian. Is that something that you've heard people like say, like talk about like Australian culture as being really silent on like the terrible, terrible ongoing genocide that's happening here? And the, you know, how there's still not been any kind of treaty between the Indigenous people and the Commonwealth. The Queen still earns like owns this place. Oh. The R is silent. Ah, lol, nam, lol. Hey, it was a cool thing to notice because I'm like, well, there's a lot of very silent Australians who are very, not very vocal on acknowledging their privilege and acknowledging what's happening and what's happened here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not particularly qualified to speak too much on that stuff, but I try to be aware and try to act where I can and take proactive steps to try and make the world better and amplify the voices and messages of people who are more marginalized. Always more to do. R sounds like ah. R sounds like ah. R sounds.
Yeah, mate. How you going? How you bloody going, mate? Yeah, you're living. You're living in your life, and your life is your livings.
Good. Michael Lombardi, you do make the world better. Thank you. I have often had these moments where I get very down on the world and the state of everything. And I think, well, why should I be here making the art when many others are suffering? Or when other people don't have the privilege to make art, why should I think that I should be able to do this? And yeah, they're pretty intense thoughts and feelings to have, and I think they're good to have, but also I think that creating art is a beautiful gift, and this is one of the reasons I'm sharing it live and making this Twitch channel and broadcasting it, because I think that art's really healing. And I studied art therapy years ago, and it had a huge impact on the way that I understand the mechanism of what art can do for us, in terms of like processing all kinds of feelings and seeing the world and dealing with our self-esteem issues, and also the creative potential, going into like altered states of consciousness through making art, where you can access different information than you would be able to access, say, if you were just talking, say, to a therapist, or just talking about how you feel, or just thinking about how you feel. When you're making art, you go into this totally different realm, an altered state of consciousness. Sounds like altered states of consciousness, like you're doing like plant medicine, or something like that, but actually just drawing and just making art or just making music and going deep into those realms is just the same thing. There are all of these experiences of creation. They give you access to different parts of yourself, meeting different parts of yourself, seeing the experience and experiencing the experience from different perspectives. It's so important. And yeah, so I really, really want to share the gift that I have here. I have a gift that has been bestowed upon me by many people, telling me and encouraging me, telling me, yeah, this is great, keep going, keep going. I'd love to continue that. like also not just like be really not be overly like too humble about it necessarily. Like just if people say they really love what you do and they think you're really good, then just to be like, okay, I accept that. I accept that this is something that I'm getting the reflection back to me that it's useful and good. And so I'm going to trust that. I'm not going to need to be dependent on the feedback, because that's the thing, is that you're the only one who can really like come to terms with your own self-esteem. But it is nice to have outside feedback. So I think it shows me that it's all of our responsibility to encourage each other as much as possible. And Michael Lombardi, thank you so much for encouraging me all the time. And thanks, Star Mushroom, today for encouraging me. Now, what has been happening in the chat? Holy shit, it's so strange when you say that R. That R. 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 Yeah, there's not much of a R. R. Unless I'm saying really? Really? Are you? Are you? Really? Are you? Really? Are you? G'day, mate. Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you? Good day, mate. A lot of Americans who try to emulate an Australian accent, they often come across as sounding like Cockney English. All right, governor. A little bit more like that. But when you have an Australian accent and you know how it sounds from a lived perspective, you see how like funny and like incorrect that is. But if you get offended by it, you're silly. Don't get offended by it. It's just funny. But you know, like when they cast people for like movies and shows, and then you're like, oh, I can tell that this is meant to be an Australian character, but the actor's certainly not Australian. Yeah. Which is why I think we should always try and like get people, if we're casting people from specific parts of the world, get people from that part of the world. Look, I know it's not all that easy. Showbiz, it's certainly not easy. How are people feeling about the image so far? People liking the direction it's going? I can see that on Facebook, Jephthah, Francis, Bernie O'Keefe are both watching. Welcome. I, famous artist Sebastian Berto, am here creating an experiential experience of a live drawing of I, experiential I, because I am you. Okay? So, but if and as of, precursors, all precursors to the archaeological dig that we're doing here on this piece of paper. I'm filtering my experience of the live stream. The live stream being a series of things. I've got a screen. I've got multiple screens here, and I've got some water that has some ink in it as well as water. I have a pen with a brush brush. I'm filtering through my physiology, through my experience, the live stream. I am drawing the live stream. I'm making decisions on the spot in real time. This is real-time rendering here. You know, you don't need a render farm to build this kind of imagery. Starlight mushroom. I see an arm and a leg. The R's are frothing. The R's are frothing. I see an arm and a leg. An arm and a leg. I see an arm. Arm. I see an arm and a leg. I see an arm and a leg. I see an arm. I see an arm and a leg. I just placed my brush onto this towel and you can see this incredible color separation. Check that out. See the rusty color and then the blue color and how they've separated on the tissue here? It's so cool. And so that's what's going to be coming through when I'm adding some water. I've got this big giant brush here that has a piston that goes down. You can see that it can squirt out or it can suck up water into the chamber there. And so what I'm doing now is sucking up some water so that I don't have to always dip it into the water, but then I can add water here. And what it begins to do is it creates some foreground and background separation. You can see that it starts to blur out elements in the background. The ink that's been laid down previously starts to sort of feather out, and it's just a cool way. Yeah, and most people don't know what a render farm is, but I sometimes use elitist language. Lol. I think more and more people are gonna start to understand what render farms are, perhaps. I don't know. I studied animation at university and I did 3D animation and visual effects and 2D animation, and so I learnt what render farms are. I've never used a render farm. I've never worked like in a big studio, and 3D and visual effects is usually where render farms, I think, would be the go. For all of those who don't know what a render farm is, it is a large series of computers all connected to each other that slowly process each frame of a animation. And because, for example, a 3D film that it's a huge big budget and that requires like a lot of computing power to just spit out the final image. Each image, for example, a film that goes for an hour, every single second of the film, of an animated film, is usually on in between 24 and 60 frames per second. So every single second, 60 frames, for example, that's 60 images per second. And you have to do that for an hour. So that's your full movie, and that takes so much computing power. Anyway, so they make these farms of powerful computers that slowly all render frames of the animation one by one, again and again and again, until it is complete. And they'd have to render all kinds of different formats. Some of the formats they would put into the cinema. Some of the formats they would put on DVDs. Some of them they would put on the web. You know what I mean? Getting a picture of this right now. Now, oh, you built a render farm, Starlight. Mushroom. Whoa. Okay. Maybe you're the one who needs to tell us a little bit about render farms. I gave a bit of a layman's terms description of what a render farm is, but that's pretty cool if you built one. What was that like? Was it difficult to build one? Was it a big one? Was it a small one? Was it for you? Was it for somebody else? I just drank water. It's currently 8:22 p.m. and it's 9 degrees Celsius. Ah, yes. Very cool 3D scans. Were you scanning, was it for games? Like objects for games? Or was it for like motion capture things, objects? Was it for a project? Was it for just your own enjoyment and learning? Ooh, science-based sim of some plants. Sick as. Huh. For some kind of ecological plant-based research experience. A simulation of how plants grow in space, perhaps? Now, can you see how when I'm adding this wash, like I can show you closer because it's very interesting. It's really, whoa, dropped my phone. Really beautiful actually. Look at the beautiful feathering that's going on here. Like little estuaries of the ink that are slowly fading, and you can see the warm and cool tones that separate. It's almost like there's kind of like, almost like a white, semi-opaque vibe going on. It's also a little bit like almost 3D. But yeah, see some of that wonderful bleeding that's going on in here. And yeah, that's your that's your feather filter. No, that's your like Gaussian blur. I've never known how to pronounce that. Gaussian blur. That's your like analog Gaussian blur. And then you can see how it contrasts to the much more sharp edges of what's inside the figure that I'm putting together here. Yeah, so it's just one of the techniques I've been using specifically in this case. Yeah, I'm into it. I like it. It's not the only way I do things. I just tend to do everything intuitively and not sort of plan too much. But yeah. So now I'm slowing down a little bit because what I'm going to want to start doing is making some decisions about where the other limbs of the figure are going to go, how they're going to be situated on the page, and what the figure ground relationship of each of these parts is going to be. Exactly. Ah, okay. Good. Very good. This is very interesting. I wonder. And was it helpful to do those scans? And was it really fun? Did you teach yourself? Was it part of a job? Because, like, how cool's that? That's a pretty interesting thing to do for a job, huh? Oh, wow. Again, this tissue, huh? Very interesting. I know that it might be a bit boring to some people, but I find it fascinating. The alchemical processes of the ink. A long ongoing study sadly got put on hold because of COVID. Ah, yeah, like so many things. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I hope that you've been able to stay isolated and safe from the doom. And I hope that you have access to a vaccine soon. Here in Australia, the rollout of the vaccine has been very slow, despite having the vaccines. We have the vaccines, but we're not getting them to the people fast enough. It's really weird and really annoying. And yeah. But I'm gonna go get the vaccine pretty soon, because not many people are able to get the vaccine, apart from if you're a carer or you work in certain industries like disability support and various carer support roles. And it's like 8:30 p.m. here. But yeah, my mum needs support. She got very sick, but she's getting better. But I'll be able to get the vaccine and help her out more. It was like just at the end of our first like huge long lockdown, like full quarantine, like nobody can basically do anything at the end of 2020. And I was like, and then we came out of that and I was like, yeah, the world's coming back, yeah, so long 2020. And then mum got really sick, like she got cancer, she got lung cancer. And then I was like, no, damn you, the world. Yeah. But she's been doing immunotherapy, which is this really interesting, awesome. It's like more of a modern, pretty recent development in cancer treatment. And she's responded super well. You know about immunotherapy? It's wild. Yeah, thanks. Immunotherapy. They put a thing. They pump this. I don't know what it's, a chemical or whatever, into your system, and it tells your immune system, your immune cells, to target a certain protein that happens to be present in the particular cancer cells that you have. So everybody, when they get cancer, it's a totally unique physiology for each cancer that you have, because that's just the nature of cancer. But there are similarities between certain cancers, and what they do is they look for certain proteins that are present to a high degree, and for my mum it was like CP03 13 protein. And so then they go, okay, cool. That's 80% present in the cancer you have. We're going to give you this thing, immunotherapy stuff that tells your immune system to attack that specific protein. So it's just like you're fighting a cold, but you're fighting the cancer. Mum's cancer was that big inside her lung, and then it was spreading out to all of the lymph nodes, like here in here, and it's like, oh, like it could just. It was almost stage 3, and the immunotherapy has actually reduced it completely, halved in size, and then the second test that she went to, it's changed shape, and the doctor said it could now just be just scar tissue. Maybe she's like not got cancer, but anyway, it's pretty exciting news for Mum. But anyway, I'm still hoping to provide her support. She lives in the country out, so I try to visit her as much as possible. It's just difficult. Anyway, thanks for hearing that story. It's a bit of a sad but also kind of uplifting, because it's amazing that she's responding well. It's like some people, the immunotherapy doesn't usually cure you of the cancer. It usually just gives you like more years of your life, good quality years of your life. So, but this is a really good result. So there have been some people where the cancer's been totally nullified. Amazing hospital in Bendigo Health. Oh yeah, so good. The doctors, the staff there, they're so awesome. They really it's very much client-centered, reasonably holistic care, and they don't just look at the patient. Like when I'm there, they look at me and they talk to me and they empathize a lot, and it's really makes you feel like they really care, and I think they genuinely do as well. But yeah, nice to see the development in the healthcare compared to, I don't know, what I might have experienced many years ago as a kid. Because it sucks to be ill. Now, how are people feeling about this? I really, really, really like this drawing right now. I'm super into it. I'm moving through it very slowly because I feel like I don't think I've resolved these parts yet. I think I just need to be a bit more bold now. So let's do it. Let's not be scared. Let's do it. Ooh, interesting. What would it be like you doing this? Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah, you're doing that. You're doing that. You're doing that. Ah, yep. Yeah, something like that. And then also oh yeah, a little bit of breakdown there in the music. Woo! let's go. Okay, I just queued up a couple of selections there. It'll start. The music was going to cycle through some of these. Yeah, so. You know what I might want to do actually is this. Yeah, something like this actually. It's actually kind of interesting. So, there's no rules here. There's no rules. So, I'm going to cut into this however I want. Yeah, like that. Yes, interesting. Here we go. Thanks for the kind words, buddies. I'm getting bits of my brush stuck in the painting. Oh, well, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. It can hang out in there. This and that. Oh, sorry, got in the way. I got my hair generally tends to get in the way of the image at some point during these streams. When I'm sort of sitting back like this and going, oh yes, this is very good, and then I realize all that people can probably see is the back of my head. But you know what is a totally legitimate way to experience this experience is to you can just have it on in the background. I mean, I wouldn't expect anybody to watch every single mark that I put down, you know, being totally glued to the screen. Though, you know, some people, like Bob Ross, wow, I could watch every single mark he puts down. You know, he has an official he's not alive anymore. But Bob Ross was awesome. He has an official YouTube page where they still They've put up basically everything he's ever done. And wow, you wanna like feel good about the world and like someone to help you get through. Wow, he's cool. He was a good friend to me and my buddies through last lockdown. Wow, we went there. It was so unexpected. I always just like never really paid too much attention. I was like, oh yeah, there's that guy who paints mountains and stuff, trees and things. But when you actually like seriously just sit down and watch and listen to what he's all about and what he says and how he describes what he's doing, wow, what a like easygoing, chill cutie who raises orphan squirrels. Oh, how cute is that? Orphan squirrels, huh? Some people in this world think that they can be just the cutest people, and well, it's worth it. Being cute in your life, it's worth it. Yeah, well, here we go. We've got some images coming together, and I made some bold choices, and I think they're cool. I feel like this hand is a little bit like needs a little bit more work because it looks very vague, or like it doesn't look like it's an functioning hand. It looks more like a weird sort of crab extension experience as opposed to human, which I'm into and I'm embracing and going to continue that. You know, work with what it's becoming rather than force it to be something and then failing, you know. As I was saying in my stream last night, just persisting with an image is like really, really important. When you feel the self-doubt coming in, just try persisting, because the persistence, in my experience, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it straight out. Persistence always triumphs over self-doubt. You can think whatever you want, you could disagree, but that's just where I'm at in my life. Persistence triumphs over self-doubt. Yeah. Ooh. What did I say? Persistence triumphs over. Thanks, you like the top arm? Yeah, I'm into it. I feel like this arm, it still makes sense. Like, there's the bicep coming up to the shoulder, and then the elbow would be behind here, and it's coming forwards. But then I also like this one, and I'm just going to keep them both in because I think just creates an interesting movement through the image. So this is another thing I like, and that is finding movement, finding a flow to the image. What direction is our eye going? What sort of journey are we taken on in this image? For me, my eye would probably first go here, then there's this strong angle in here that goes up. I feel like there's like a circle in there, But then there's also this, that sort of thing. This is like more of a like contained sort of little melting realm. Yeah, the self-doubties. The self-doubties are difficult, but and there's something that I feel like we just all need to acknowledge that are likely to always be there for our whole life. Self-doubt. But the more that I think it gets better though. I used to think it's just like, oh, it never gets better, or it's just always a struggle. But actually, I do believe it can get better and stay better for long periods of time. And the way that I think that can happen is just you need to prove to yourself, because you can go to therapy and things like that, which do help, but usually the therapy is really just facilitating you to help yourself, essentially. Like, no one fixes you, you fix yourself. And even the idea of being fixed is also just like, that's not really a thing. You don't fix yourself, but you gradually heal yourself, and when you heal yourself, you uncover more stuff that needs to be healed, and that's a forever thing. But that's okay, because of course there's always going to be stuff that we move through, and new challenges in life, and so it's good. But yeah, persistence triumphs over self-doubt. Persistence triumphs over self-doubt. And so that phrase, that saying, whatever you want to call it, was offered to me as a piece of advice from like my real great friend. He's sort of been an art mentor, and he's been sort of like a positive masculine influence in my life. He's a guy called Philip Doggett Williams. He's a really amazing artist. And he taught me lithography and drawing and things like that. He gave me the opportunity to just sort of like hang out with him as he made his art and help him produce some of his lithograph pieces. And he also just taught me things about being an artist. So I wanted to know like, how do I be an artist? What is the life of an artist like? And he said I was like, what is your biggest advice? What phrases do you live by? And he said triumph. He said that persistence triumphs over self-doubt, and I just love it. I just think that's such a great thing to live by. It's never quite as easy as any of these small sayings. Saying something like that reduces complex problems into simple ones, which I don't think is really the way to live, but it's not really the reality. But it definitely is a great starting point for like self-inquiry and practicing like radical self-acceptance, and it's good. Did my head get in the way again? Oops. Michael Lombardi, I hope you're having a good time drawing. Starlight Mushroom, I hope you're having a good time doing whatever it is you are doing. Drawing or 3D scanning some plants and creating simulations based on their three-dimensional structure in order to progress the realm of science and our understanding of the natural world and our deep respect for nature. Nature. I bet it'd be really cool to live in Hawaii. Now, next step. What's my next step here? Just chilling. My drawing isn't there yet, but it will get there. Yeah, this is the thing. It will get there. See, you, Michael Lombardi, have done many drawings in your life. And each drawing that you do has been an opportunity for you to prove to yourself that you can do a drawing. And this is probably why you're able to be so confident in saying that it will get there. You have no doubt, right? It'll get there. I'm so for just chilling these days as well. We live in societies that like build us up to base our self-worth on our productivity. Productivity in terms of looking at productivity from a capitalist mindset, from a mindset of you got to be contributing to the business of the world, or contributing to doing something very active, using energy or creating energy, things like that. Or being a hero in some way, and there's a lot of pressure, and I'm really into just being okay with entering deeper and deeper states of relaxation if you can, and decoupling your sense of self-worth from being productive. Like, I don't want to feel guilty for not having drawn pictures or not put my art out and sold lots of work or things like that. I just don't think that that's healthy, you know? Easier said than done, though. Don't want everything to have to be so transactional. What have you done for society? I do this for you, then you do this for me. What if we could just exist? That'd be nice. Exist and not have to justify our existence. That would be nice. I think the more privileged we are, the easier it is for us to not get caught up in that. So if you're not super privileged, or you're less privileged than very rich people, you're often part of the working class, and therefore you could be bound into those kind of feelings and thoughts about work, like the guilt if you're not working because either you need to feed your family or you need to prove something, like that you are someone who's successful, or I don't know. The idea of success is a bit weird. Anyway, these are a lot of thoughts I have as I draw. All these kind of thoughts. I think about these things all the time. It's often hugely about self-esteem when I'm drawing. It's all about a lot of other things too, though. But that's one of the things I like to like talk about and think about when especially when I'm with other people. I want to be a place. I want to be like when people are around me. I want to hope to be like a place where people can feel a little bit more at ease, or like perhaps that being around me, they don't have to think of themselves or see themselves as anything but themselves. That maybe we're all having very similar feelings. Let's see. How about this track, huh? It's one of those little cute, I forget what they're called. There's like a little piece of wood with those little pieces of metal, and you go ding 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 ding. I watched a movie today. I was just checking some social just then. I watched a movie today
Cruella. Cruella.
DeVille. Cruella. I enjoyed it despite Disney being not particularly in the ballpark of a company that I like because of its questionable history and because it's of it upholding certain values that I don't really agree with and find very hegemonic. But I enjoyed Cruella. It was enjoyable. You know what? I'm actually just I'm just grateful to be able to go to a movie theatre and see a movie and just pretend that I'm a kid and just forget about many things for a little while. Michael Lombardi says, my drawing isn't there yet, but it will get there, and I think I will leave my drawing for now. Good. Know when to pause. You're gonna pause that drawing for now, Michael, and you'll come back to it another time, or you won't come back to it, and then that will be fine as well. Yeah. I'm specifically going to finish this drawing, and I'm going to finish it tonight. Does anybody want to see what I did last night, or should I finish this first and then show you what I did last night? Because God, I've been doing so many of these drawings. On average, I've been doing 2 per stream. Tonight, I feel like I'm only gonna have enough energy to do 1. I don't know, sometimes I get a second wind, but I feel like tonight I'm a bit sleepy. Though I think I'm doing a good job. I do like what I'm doing. And I hope this commentary that I've been providing has been helpful for everybody in some way, whatever way that might be. I just know that it's cool to like chill and maybe hear some perspectives from people who you don't know. Give it a chance, you know. But another thing I've been thinking about is I've been trying to practice a lot of like radical acceptance of my own work, my drawings, and wow, last night I was having a lot of trouble just getting through the drawing. It was just like a really difficult drawing to go through. I don't know why, like almost like emotionally and compositionally, and sometimes you just have a moment where it's not as easy as other moments, and it's cool to use that as an opportunity to practice some compassion for yourself, and not just for yourself but like for the artwork itself, which, I mean, sort of, you could say it's one and the same thing, but does anybody believe that we are the artwork? You know, if we go back to that way of thinking before that I was talking about, of like being intrinsically linked to everything else. For the landscape of my body to actually be completely porous, and everything that I'm experiencing is porous and part of my experience, and therefore me, or that there is no me, it's just experiencing. Yeah, like then that kind of makes it a bit maybe more important to, or just be a good way to, into maybe just being a bit more kind to this art that you've created. But it doesn't have to be towards art, it can be to anything you've created. just really hope that we can all be really kind to ourselves. I hope you are being really kind to yourself right now and doing something for yourself, to care for yourself and show yourself compassion and love and nurturing, all those kind of things, because that's pretty cute, isn't it? Look, let's just all be very cute, alright? Gee. But yeah, last night it was very difficult to move through the drawing. And I did it. And I kept telling myself, persistence triumphs over self-doubt. Keep going, keep going, keep going. The image will resolve itself. I just need to listen to it and give it what it needs. And so I did, and it was important for me to stand back and listen to what the image needed. Depersonalize yourself. Depersonalize it. It's not personal. Just do what needs to be done and listen more than think that it's you who's doing the thing. It just is. Stuff just is. Am I just sounding like a total hippie or something? I don't know. Look, we live in a very, very wildly psychedelic, strange experience at any given time, at all times. Everything is very, very miraculous. I'm in wonder a lot of the time, and awe. There's a sense of awe that I have a lot of the time. I'm very grateful. I don't know what to, but I'm very grateful to be able to have the experience I'm having. I don't know why either, but it seems very profound. This whole wild thing. And live streaming, so funny. It's so weird, like I'm in my room, in my studio at least, and I'm talking to a camera and a screen, and I'm looking back at the camera every now and then, and I'm painting an image, and I'm painting the live stream is what I'm doing. Like this track, huh? Oh yeah. It's pretty nice. Yeah. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, and this and this, that and that. That and that and this. Does anyone think I should put up recordings of this, or is it more magical to just have it like in the moment? You know, like exclusive to people who tune in. People can't just watch this anytime they want. The automatic way that Facebook works with these live recordings is that it actually records them, and then like people can just watch it whenever they want, just as an automatic thing. I don't know if that's good, or if it's, because I just don't know if people would actually even want to maybe watch them. I don't know. I guess some people might get some value out of having the content, having like these recordings up. I guess it will be something that I'll have to gradually learn. I'll just keep doing them. I've actually been doing these every day. I think I'm going to try and pretty much do it every day. Similar time, maybe after dinner. I might put up I don't know, if people subscribe to my Twitch channel, they'll be able to like see, maybe I can put up a schedule, but I don't really mind. I don't really like, in one sense it would be nice to get the word out that I'm doing this stuff, but because every time I tried to sort of just say, hey everyone, I'm doing this, like I was pushed way down the algorithm whatever on Instagram and Facebook, and like basically no one saw it, which is fine. Like, so maybe it does just make it more magical that people might just chance upon it, and those that do enjoy it and get something out of it, they'll be the people who come back, or who make sure that to, you know, keep an eye out for more things I do. Yeah. Okay, this image is looking so sick right now. So cool. I'm so into it. I'm feeling like I'm in a good place with this image. And that feeling shouldn't be taken for granted. Like, it's not always, I don't always feel like this about images necessarily. Like, I feel like most of this image is, at the very beginning I was like, oh, I don't know how this will go. But, you know, as I got a little bit through it, things started to come together in a pretty nice way, I reckon. Yeah. Not bad at all. Oh, well. Yeah, that little pop of black in there is certainly really nice. Really nice. Really nice. Really nice. what these bits are, but you can't even see those in the recording or in the camera, but some weird little scratchy bits over there next to the arm. It's hard for me to ever really know what I'm ever doing. I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I'm noticing in life. What's the plan? What's the game plan? Well, from all the advice I read up on and research, having a general direction that you're going, a general goal, can be quite good. But what I've learnt about having goals is that you should have them, but not to focus too much on the goal itself, and just go in the direction of the goal, general direction of the goal, but never expect it to result, whatever, once you get to wherever you think the goal is, never expect it to actually end up really as getting to the goal that you originally thought. I think the vibe is that what we do is we don't actually know what we really want, and what you hope will happen is that the thing that you didn't know that you really wanted will happen to you if you go in the direction of what you thought you wanted. Does that make sense? Like, you think that you want to make art on the internet, and that pushed you down the path of you realizing that you actually wanted to do so you started making art on the internet, but that then gave you the realization, after you'd done that, after you'd achieved that goal of making art on the internet, you realized that what actually that was about was completely changing your artistic practice into a multidisciplinary experience. Or I feel like for me, part of this could be that maybe I could be realizing that it's maybe not so much about me, these images that I'm creating, but they're just maybe a smaller part in me learning how to speak in front of people, or be more of a clown, or just get closer to learning how I want to offer my energy in the world, the offerings that I have. I definitely want to be of service in the world. I want to help. I think that's a good and noble thing to do. Gonna check some how the stream is going on Facebook. Let's see. I don't know how it's going on Facebook. I don't know if anybody's watching that. Anyway, interesting. It's all very novel. I really like using OBS. I think it's a great piece of software. I wish it had video effects modules or something where I could do some wacky weird processing stuff to the image. I suppose I could run it through something like Resolume, VJ software, and then just have the video signal coming through there. But it'd be nice if it was more integrated. You know, there probably would be something out there. Someone's surely written a piece of software that would integrate some visual effects into, you know, like live processed visual effects into this. Cool to do some like underwater wild wavy things and play with things live, you know, like for fun. And as another creative way, because the medium here is so rich, the digital medium, and there's lots of things that I know I can do, but it's just all about learning to menu dive and link things up. One of the biggest things I learnt in animation school was just menu diving. Just dive some menus and you'll work out how to do something. Okay, I'm moving into picture making mode now because I feel like I've sort of like blocked in and resolved a lot of parts, and now I want to start texturing and picture making. Picture making is sort of thinking a little bit more like broadly about overall the composition and two-dimensional elements and the major forms, and I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go as well, but one thing I'd like to do is add texture. Yeah. You can see all of these little small marks I'm making and what they help to do is just sort of like bring everything together. There's bigger marks, there's smaller marks, there's really bold marks and there's lighter marks. There's areas where I've done a lot of rendering, there's areas where I've done less rendering. And what I think is nice about adding pattern over the top of things is that it sort of like merges areas of the picture. It's like putting a grain over a clean image, like a filter grain over a composition, and it makes all of the different parts of that kind of come together. Yeah, I don't know. They just come together. There's like a consistency of texture over the whole image is what I mean to say. Consistency of texture, that will work as a descriptive. Yeah. See if my other pen could be of use here. Yeah, it's got more of a sharper tip. But I've been drawing all of these pictures with this pen originally, so the bristles have become a little bit more frayed. I wish that I could just have a brush pen where the bristles wouldn't really fray like they do, but I guess that's just part of friction of paper against nylon, is that it will begin to just get increasingly more damaged, essentially. Yeah, I think this really... See, like there's this area up here that looks very, very smooth. Then these areas that are very like almost like the bark of a tree, a little bit. And I think that that I'm bringing this like pattern throughout everything, if I do that, then it will start to kind of like make everything look like it's more tied together. I think that with any image you want there to be a balance between like contrasting silhouette and elements and elements that... This is not a hard and fast rule for anything actually, but this is just what I like to do, is and specifically talking in the context of these ones that I've just made recently. I like there to be areas that are very contrasting, and also areas that are homogeneous in some way to a certain degree. Yeah. very close to completion, buddies, and I would love to show you what I've done in other live streams of recent times. I would love to show you all the things what I've done. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Woo! This is it. This is the drawing I'm doing. Drawing the live stream. Again and again, every single night, drawing the live stream. People trying to get on with their days, aren't they? But no, I'm drawing a live stream. I mean, most of the people I know are probably in bed. Most of the people I know are all cuddled up, all nice and safe and sound in bed. Isn't that a nice thought? It's something that I will do after I finish this. It's probably get all nice and cuddled up in bed. And what will I do? I will watch some YouTubes or something, and maybe I will talk to some friends, and I will drift off into an incredible, outrageously blissful sleep, only to awaken in the morning to the sound of, who knows, maybe my housemates will be making a delicious meal in the kitchen, and I will come out of my room, erupt out of my room in fact, and I will say, "Who doth go there? In one fell swoop I shall take thee to the promised land." And I will be met with, "Good morning, Sebastian. This is the delicious omelette that I have been making, and you, of all people, are deeply welcome to sup upon this omelette and this nice salad green and these delicious slices of toast, and it shall be good." And unlike what just happened on my screen, there will be no running out of batteries. I am putting a new battery in my camera, turning it back on, and what you're going to see is I'm back. I mean, I should be back. Yeah? I mean, you can still hear me. Alright, let's try this again. And let's do it again. It should come back soon. have some interesting experiences happening. Well, not quite sure what's happening, but I do have a spinning hoop over my mouse. Which may unfortunately mean that my good friend OBS is not working. Oh, that's sad. Gonna just see if the stream is still going. Do a little bit of good old checking of things. Yeah, gonna have to exit, I think. Look, it is still broadcasting, but it's just frozen on my face. So, let me see. I can still probably chat. Yeah. Well. And I currently have 2 viewers. Hello there, viewers. I'm sorry, but I'll have to stop this stream pretty soon. I might come live again. I might go live again and just show everybody the artworks that I made. I think that'll be the best option. So, gonna do that now and quickly just come back. We'll restart. Alright, gonna do that. We'll be back. Bye. So, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I am back. Just finishing up this image, this picture. Hello there, Hannah Duvet. I'd like to welcome you to my live art stream. I am famous artist Sebastian Berto, and I have been drawing for the last hour or so. I think I've been drawing since 7:30 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. And this is a advanced Mr. Squiggle drawing. It's a squiggle drawing. It began with just some very loose swirly lines, and I've just created this image from a scribble. So I've been doing this every day lately. Thank you for your recognition of my talent. That's nice. I just started streaming again because I changed the battery pack of my camera, and usually it all goes smoothly and I just connect it back up, but it crashed OBS, the open broadcast software that I use on my PC, my personal computer. Have you ever heard of one of these incredible contraptions? I built it myself. It is white and it has colourful RAM modules. Colourful RAM modules. Yes, that is correct. I have indeed a computer that has random access memory. And it is helping me greatly in what I'm doing, broadcasting. Now, we need to do some things to complete this image, I think, because we're very near completion, I would say. I think I want to start using this big broad brush and adding in some ink. I've got my ink here. This is a vintage ink that I got from a Parker Super Quink ink that I got from a vintage store. This would be 1970s, 1980s, like late 70s, I'd say 80s. Look at that retro stripe there. That is like the classic, like retro 70s colors, right? It's so cool, huh? Got my water brush. I'm gonna be adding a bit of a wash up here because I'm wanting to create more contrast between the background and the foreground and the form that you see here. Yeah. The page is buckling because of the water. It's not actually necessarily watercolor paper, but it is paper that's made to be used with ink washes and stuff like this. So I just have to make sure to treat it nicely, and it will treat me nicely. But yeah. Yep. When I add these washes, you see some very interesting effects from the way that the old-fashioned ink, this retro ink, works with its pigments, the way that they interact with water is really interesting. The pigment that you find in a lot of inks can be different, made of different chemicals and different ingredients, and basically when you add water to inks that aren't supposed to necessarily be used with water, you can begin to see some of the properties, the particular properties of the chemicals and the constituents that make up that particular ink. So with this ink, what I've been noticing is that the colors separate in a really interesting way. Wow, this is looking really cool. I'm definitely very, very close to completing this, but let me give you a little close-up here. So, yeah, you can see in some of these areas, that there's this incredible like separation of like these blue hues and then more rusty hues. Then also the wonderful way that the ink bleeds when you apply water. It's really nice. Some really interesting, see like just here how the ink has, you can see that rusty color and then the blue below. I really love that. Up here, look how cool this area is. Oh yeah. These are like all these really nice happy accidents that happen when you use materials in ways that aren't necessarily usually designed to be used in the way that I've used them. Because this is meant for fountain pens. This ink, it's a fountain pen ink. It's not like an Indian ink. It's water. It dissolves in water. So, thank you, Hannah Duvet. There we go. I'm pretty much almost ready to call this image complete, but I'm going to just add a little bit more to the background. See, I'm able to blend these strokes in using a water brush. It's basically just water on it. I wonder if I'm in casting from Australia, and I'm wondering if people in like America would probably be waking up right now. Like it's almost 10 p.m. here. Ah, yeah. Alex is here though. Some other Aussies. My buddy old pal Alex. How you doing? I'm painting. Look, Alex. I keep making these images every day. Every single day. Maybe Hannah Duvet is the Hannah that I know. Are you the Hannah that I know, Hannah Duvet? Hannah Duvet. If so, love you, glad to have you here, friend. And also, if you're not, love you, glad to have you here regardless. Look. It's just nice to hang out with pals and paint and draw. You like it, Alex? Ah, Stitch, hey, how you doing? Yeah, welcome. I don't know, I've been thinking that I like doing these streams a little bit later than I've been doing them, like between 4 and 6, but now I'm kind of liking the after dinner vibes. The after dinner vibes. Yeah. I somehow opened you in 3 different browser tabs and there's some mad reverb going on. Oh wow. Okay, Hannah Duvet. You think you're another Hannah. Okay, good. Hannah. Hannah, haha. Another Hannah, haha. You're another Hannah, haha. This is good. Look, I had somebody from Hawaii watching me just before. That was fun. And they were 1/64th Native American. That was pretty cool to learn. I mean, wow. It's just cool to like think that people over the other side of the world would be like, gonna tune into this and gonna have a little chat, and that's a fun time and things and stuff. What can I say? Alright, people. What are we thinking? Come on, here we go. How about this as an image? As an image. What do you think about images? Have you ever seen one before? I certainly have. Seen many images. I like not only seeing them, but I like creating them. And I've created a lot. Not you first, Alex. Good to hear. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty weird if you hadn't seen any images. I'd be highly, highly surprised. Perhaps a bit skeptical. I might even not believe you if you hadn't seen images. But I really like to think that I'm the kind of person who would just be so open to somebody truly letting me know and convincing me that really... Oh, you wrote no, my first. I see. Well, then that makes what I'm just saying even more pertinent. That I am open to this being your first image that you have ever seen. And in that case, I salute you, my friend. I salute you and all of your freshly image having seen presence. You stand upon this earth, a changed person. Now you have under your belt a new experience, an experience of witnessing an image. How does it feel? How does it feel to be? How does it affect the incredible, ever-present realm of your experience? How does your body respond to this image? What is brought forth deep from the subterranean realm of your inner dialogue? What doth reveal itself? Through ink on page, we slowly traverse the infinite bounds of a kaleidoscopic, outrageous, indescribable universe. And here, a microcosm amongst the macrocosm, this image. I mean, look, if you're going to see an image, the first image is this, I reckon you're doing pretty well. I do mean to blow my own horn. I do mean to toot my own horn here. I would have to say that if this is the first image you ever see, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing to see as your first image. So, you know, I've got my new tune that I made playing currently. I'm willing to share more of it with you. I'm composed it on my pocket operator. is another small composition. I have a series of small compositions. Okay, now I do have some other things that I want to do to this, and let me see. It would probably be something like this. Yeah. Mummy. Yes, exactly, Alex. Mummy is a word. Mummy is indeed a word. This isn't your first mummy. This isn't your first mummy. Well, I am your first mummy. Well, I'm not sure if anybody watched my stream last night, but whoa, I had some. It was intense. The drawing I drew, and I will show you that in a minute. It was very difficult to get through. Ah, there we go, eh? Yeah, that's done. That's done. I'm gonna call it there. Done. Just gonna call it there. What a cheeky thing I am, huh? I'm going to reward myself with some delicious water. Alright, people. Alright, people of the internet. Here we go. Let's have a look. What do you reckon? Hey? How about that? Yeah, it's so good. I'm so into it. Let's get closer. Let's get closer. Can you see the colors in there? It's not black and white necessarily. This is, look at that blue in there. And if you look even closer, you'll be able to see a hint of a kind of rusty color. Sort of looks like a bit of a bird head up there. And yeah, you can see some of that rust color on the chest above the boob there. You can see how some of these dots that I did have merged into the wet parts of the canvas, and some of them have stayed sort of more crisp. You can see the way that the background separates from the foreground. You can see all of these beautiful areas that have feathered out. Yeah. So, look, I'm super into it. I love this image. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, buddies. So, from this point, I would now like to offer you the opportunity to see some of the other images that I have created. And maybe we'll start with the ones that I did last night. This one, whoa. This is the one I did last night. So I had so much difficulty with this one. You can see how it's like very, very worked up, like very dark. The yeah, like a lot of ink being used and layers and layers and layers. It's very muddy and dark, and it looks very different in person to how it looks online through this camera. But yeah, you can see like
those various shades of blue. The foreshortening on the knee there, so interesting. But yeah, whoa, that was a difficult one. I just had a lot of trouble resolving it, and also resolving my sense of self-esteem, and all these different things came up, but it was very healing and very worth persisting. I kept telling myself persistence triumphs over self-doubt, which is my a motto that was gifted to me by a mentor of mine, and I believe it. Another one I did last night that came out quite easily. This one. Quite cool, huh? Yeah. Really like the background in that one. I like the sense of movement around this character. I guess I'll just keep going. Here's another one. Ooh. This one's weird. Yeah. This one was actually a difficult one too. I really like this dark area here. I've been putting all of these up on my Instagram. Yeah, very sludgy, huh? They've been kind of me. I've sort of been focusing on like the body as a landscape, the body as an ecosystem, as a landscape, and the felt experience of being in a body, and trying to depersonalize the experience of making the art, depersonalize and uncouple my sense of self from everything else. I've been focusing also on the ecstatic feeling of my hand on the paper and the movement, and just thinking of these as a series of artifacts from some movements that I did once, and this is just residue from those movements. So the movement of the dance of the hand over the page, and some really cool colours going on in this one. Really great colours in that leg, and over here. Whoa, look at that wash on the side. So nice. Yeah. I mean, existence is wild. Just existing is so strange. I just posted this one today. I think only one person saw this on Instagram. I just got one like. It's so weird. I don't know if they like me. I think they just push me down the algorithm. But I really like it, and I really like these images. I'm thinking of having a online show. I've just got so many, like, at this point. Posted this one the other day. Posted this one yesterday, actually. Yeah, I've also been focusing on the idea that these are drawings of the live stream. I've been drawing the live stream, and the process of my body filtering all of the information that's coming in, and then making decisions on the fly, live decisions. That sort of reciprocal cycle of information coming in, being processed and filtered through my physiology onto the page. That's been super cool. Yeah, here's another one. I feel like maybe like there could be maybe a little bit of a progression. There's definitely been progression, but I think maybe this one is refined in a way that some of them aren't. I don't know. Maybe they're all equally refined in their own way. But yeah. Sludgy. What do you reckon? Liking? So many. This one, whoa, this one. Woo. Vibes, definite and very specific vibes going on there. This one, love this one so much. Ooh. This one's strong. Like the line work is really, really strong and confident, I think, which is a fun feeling. Not to say that strong line work is and a strong image is always like ideal. It's not what we always want to go for, but this one kind of like a minotaur or something. I definitely feel like there's a bit of mythology going on. And almost done getting through them all. There's this one. Really like this one too. And then the first one I did is this one. This was the first live stream that I did recently. And yeah, and here is where I'm at now. This friend. Let's take off and bring him closer. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is nice. Did you see them all? Did you have a little look through those? Yeah. Many friends. I think that's like worthy of a, oh my god, they're all falling. Worthy of a show, huh? Worthy of a show. Just got to carefully put them over here with the utmost care possible in this scenario. Oh, don't mind me. Yeah, I think they need to start living just flat on the ground, not on a small chair. So yeah, there we go. That's the piece for tonight. I have 2 pieces of paper left. This is nice, thick 220 GSM draw and wash paper, so it's ideal for ink drawings. It does bow the paper, but you can just bend it and press it, flatten it. You want to see some more? You want to see some more drawing, or would you just like to see some more completed pieces? These are cute. Smaller pieces I did. May have shown these to everybody the other night. But yeah. I've been very busy this lockdown. This quarantine lockdown. These ones are sharp. Very sharp.
I drew them with this ruling pen. Can you see that? It's really cool. You dip it into ink, and the ink via surface tension sits in that gap in the middle. And then you can attack the page like a knife. And so you get these really cool, like, yeah, it's so cool. And yeah, that's these pieces I started by drawing just a bunch of lines with the ruling pen. And yeah, you can see the particular quality of like the line of these. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, like over here. Oh, see the scrapey texture of that? I really like that. Yeah, there you can really see that those scrapey textures. There. Yeah, definitely 90s manga vibes. This one's so bold. Very, very bold. Like, not even much room. Yeah, really quick. Really super quick. And embracing what's there. Just going for it, embracing what's there. A lot of them have a really cool movement and rhythm to them, like yeah. Repetition of line, rhythm and repetition of line, texture. Very graphic, you know. Those sharp edges. Check out this one. You know, all of this stuff is based on just the feeling of existing in my body and my curiosity and celebration of bodies and the landscape of bodies, human form and movement and digestion and composting and the various emotional landscapes that we can go to. The feelings between feelings, the indescribable experience. Also, like, taking notes from nature, like this is kind of like inspired by the side of this thigh is kind of inspired by the side of a caterpillar, because they breathe out of the side of their body in these little holes all the way along their body. You know, and it's not obviously like none of it's anatomically correct or anything, but it's more just I feel like it's more of a feeling sense of anatomy and what it feels like to inhabit a body. I really love this one. This one has a feeling of like liquid, transparent liquid swirliness to the skin. Like the skin is just very loosely draped over the form, but it may be semi-transparent skin or something like that. Yeah, this one, totally yearning, right? So yearning. This one has a weird sense of like it's too light, like not a heavy person, like a really, really light person who's almost floating and just touching their feet to the ground, not actually being planted on the ground. You know, just coincidentally, that's how it came out. This one, extrasensory perception modules. Very cool kind of hairs and stuff. They're unsure of their experience. Yeah, sure. This one, like animalistic, like some kind of mouse, rat, mammal thing with this beautiful like fan tail, fluffy, so it would be so soft to touch. And yeah, back to the beginning here. Love this one. So yeah. Wow, I've been busy. It's just all come out very effortlessly and chill. It's not like, oh, I've been busy, like stressed out or anything. It's just been chill. Thanks, Alex. Hope you've been well. I reckon, I don't know if I think I feel like winding down now. Yeah, actually. Let's even put the track onto a chill track. That might not sound chill yet, but here we go. There we go. There we go, chill. Yeah. Done lots once again. I'll show you one more thing. Something very exciting. It's currently hard rubbish. And what do we have down here? A bunch of hardwood, little kind of wooden shields were put out in hard rubbish, and also small hardwood blocks. And I've got a whole crate of them, and these amazing small business awards. Yeah, plaques. So I'm going to sand them down, and I'm going to paint little faces on them. But I thought, like, I don't like the idea of them being like hunting trophy vibes. I like the idea of them being maybe something a bit different, or like just subverting that hunting trophy vibe. So I thought, like, turning them upside down like this makes them look like little kind of windows or something. And I thought maybe I'd paint in that orientation as opposed to the other way around. But I guess I'm still going to be making up my mind around that. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Nice hard rubbish find. And yeah. This is life. This is the experiential experience that we're having. The experiential experience that we're having. What more can I say? I am famous artist Sebastian Berto at your service here. I'm streaming every day, every night, really, every late afternoon to evening. I think if I miss a day, that's fine, because I have my own reasons, you know. I have my own reasons. I have a life. I do things, and things are opening up again now. I went to the cinema today and I saw Cruella. I enjoyed it. For a Disney film. So, yeah. I went to the pancake parlor. Let's just be honest. With my friends. And, you know, it was good. The pancake parlor, I had fried bananas and maple syrup walnuts and a piece of ice cream on top of some pancakes. Ooh, yum. That was delicious. The way that they make their orange juice, so frothy. It's almost like creamy, frothy orange
orange juice. Yum. I've always imagined that I don't know why, but I always have this feeling that I want to try creamy orange juice. How can you froth it the most to make it the creamiest? Or like, because you couldn't add milk. You wouldn't add milk to orange juice because that would curdle. It's acidic. So anyway, but look, the Pancake Parlor is owned by Jehovah's Witnesses, and so that's weird. But anyway, or Mormons, is it? I don't remember. Yeah, take mushrooms first, exactly. I don't know in what context. Before going to the Pancake Parlor? Sure. Mushrooms are a really good thing to do. Ah, yes, to get the most creamy. That sounds good, yeah. Or to get the most, hey, this is a weird thing in my mouth. What do I do with it? I can't swallow this. I can't eat this. What? It's kind of coming out of my, have I got it all over my face? Is it in my, I've got all this in my hair. Oh no, is this hairs in my mouth? I took mushrooms and went to General Pants, the retail store once. It was so bad. What do you mean? Like what? You were like, time to buy me some pants. Just had me mashies. Need me nice pants. Did it make it difficult to work out, first of all, which pants were yours and which pants weren't yours once you got into the change room and were taking off your pants to put on the other pants to try see whether they fit you? Did it make just the general like experience of being in a shop difficult to navigate? Like, were you like, oh no, how do I get through this maze? What is this, a mannequin or is it a real person? I feel like I know that they're not real, but that I also am connected to them in some way. Well, no, I had to go there on an errand to pick up a costume for a show, and I'd had the shrooms and they came on really fast. Oh my gosh. Alexander! Yeah. Well, I'm sure that was a very interesting experience. Yeah. No, the people that work there are really intense. I bet that they... I'm going to put on some lip balm. They come up to you and they pretend to be your friend. Yeah, of course. That's the vibe. The store manager was yelling at everybody. So you were picking up some clothes. Yeah, good. Look, the more stores we can get out of quickly, the better. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, because you need, when you're in that state on the shrooms, you become very porous. You become very suggestible. You become very, very connected with your feelings and the feelings of others around you, and the social dimension, the conventions, they start to break down for you, and you can find yourself in some very weird situations, can't you? Some very awkward social situations.
yeah, being in the city, it could be amazing, but it really depends. It's nice if you have something to keep you focused on, something that you can keep coming back to. It's really nice to, for example, I'd imagine if you can bring yourself back to a breathing or something, but obviously. But then, how about beats? Having a tune, having your headphones on, dancing, movement. If you can find a space to do that, so good, such a good experience. But then, really, I think the nicest place to be having that experience is in the forest, or like in a realm where you feel real safe and cozy. Oh yes, I want to hear the full story. I mean, it might be one that you need to tell me in person, but you went to the botanical gardens and a huge storm rolled in. It was a crazy day. Lately it's been really, really crazy stormy weather, huh? It's been kind of nice, but also like I think a lot of people have seasonal defective experiences, or whatever that thing is, where the weather directly correlates to moods that we have. I tend to like really dreary weather and embrace it. I like there just to be all kinds of weather. That's why I love Melbourne and I love Narm. But some people like get real depressed in cold weather or wintry weather or dreary rainy weather. Oh. Apparently I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Okay, well, that's good. Not something I want it to broadcast to anyone, but yeah, totally. It's just a real thing. I feel like I never fully learned to directly associate like sad feelings to cold weather or things. It was always different, but I know that it makes sense in certain ways. Just like the cycles of nature make sense in certain ways, to feel like death in winter and then new birth in spring and then a life cycle throughout the other seasons until the eventual death again, and the infinite cycling wonder of the natural world. Time, and that time does not exist, it is just circular experience. Well, what I think that I will do, it's been very nice to chat and hang out, but I think now I want to move away from the very bright lights that are shooting into my eyes. I've got sort of this white light that can go warm, particularly warm, and then more white, but it's just not enough. Yeah, I've kind of been going to sleep a little bit too late for my liking, for my optimal health experience. It's been... Last night I went to sleep at 2. That wasn't really a good idea. I was watching YouTube videos for ages. I got into a YouTube tunnel, as you do. And I was like, oh my god, it's 2 a.m. But Yeah, this is late for you. I mean, going to bed at like 9:30, that is when I get the nice primo optimum sleep. When I wake up and I'm like, whoa, like I'm like, I've got so much energy. But I've been waking up at about 6 or 7 and then kind of just being in bed for like many hours for like until 10, and then that's when I kind of properly get out of bed lately. But I'm just trying to be easy on myself and whatever, it's fine. Yeah, it's so good. I like getting a really good sleep, where you really follow the circadian, or not the circadian rhythm because that's inside you, but like as soon as it starts to get light outside, your body reacts to it. I really like just following the natural cycle. I think that's another way that we can practice sort of radical compassion towards ourselves, is not falling for the trick, or not falling for the basing our self-esteem on productivity and working deep into the night, or like, you know how people want to be really proud of like the fact that they did an all-nighter or whatever, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but also like just slacking off and resting and following waking up when your body just feels like waking up rather than having an alarm or all these things. That's like some radical like radical, but like, you know, it's compassion towards the landscape of your body, this wonderful, beautiful little sea watery creature that we are. Oh yeah, totally. Little Babser. Well, so she wakes up at 6 a.m. as for her proper day, right? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's just like many other things, it's a practice. I feel like I've always been really good at taking naps and prioritizing my sleep, and I've noticed how it really puts me at odds with getting things done on time and with being productive and all of these things. And so and it's made and that continually like prioritizing it and going, no, I just have to sleep. No, this is silly, I need to sleep. I can see how it's really good for my body, but from the outside, like little chips at my self-esteem from people going, you don't seem to be very motivated or whatever in the past, and seeing myself as lazy. But then now I'm just like, yeah, let's be lazy. Always have an afternoon nap now, always, and wake up whenever I feel like it and go to bed whenever I feel like it. But yeah, I'm doing a good job. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go into my nice little lovely linen bed. Oh, it would be toasty and nice. Bye, alekusu, oyasumi nasai. Thanks for hanging out. I think I'll be streaming maybe every night after dinner. I think that's the vibe for now, and that vibe will change, and who knows. All right.